My name is Jennifer Scott, and I'm the volunteer manager at House of Friendship. House of Friendship is a local charitable organization. We walk with people who need food, housing, community resources, and addiction treatment. We serve over 42,000 individuals and families who are living on a low income in Waterloo region. So within my role, I lead the volunteer and student program, as well as our Christmas food program. My role has increased in scope and responsibility over the past 5 years of working here at House of Friendship. And one of the reasons for this growth in my role is that I was able to focus on my strengths and continue to highlight the impact that I brought to my role. So at House of Friendship, we employ a strengths-based culture. So every new employee upon hiring does an online Strengths Finder assessment. The results are then shared with their supervisor, and together they work to ensure that each new employee is working within their strengths. We find that when this happens, team members are more confident in their work, they're more engaged, and they get energized by the work that they're doing. So when I first started here, my assessment identified 5 strengths. My role and these strengths aligned perfectly, and I was able to quickly see that I was, in fact, working within my strengths. To give you an example of what I'm referring to when I say working within your strengths, I'll share just a few of the strengths that my assessment identified and how I'm working within these. So one that I can see most clearly aligning is called a ranger. So when faced with a complex situation, I can often see clarity through the clutter, and I enjoy aligning and realigning variables until a process or a program is streamlined. So this is something that comes naturally to me, and honestly, I didn't really think it was a strength. I assumed that everyone did this well. However, this assessment helped to highlight that it was, in fact, a strength for me, and it gave me the confidence to keep digging into this kind of work. Another example of a strength that I have is responsibility. So I take ownership for the work that I do and have a high level of commitment to getting something done and getting it done well. Again, this is something that I thought everyone did, and really didn't feel original to me. However, in my time here, I've really seen examples of how this is in fact a strength and has been valuable, and I continue to use this and access this skill or this strength in my work here. An example is that there was a large complex program that I was responsible for coordinating volunteers for. So I was able to, using my arranger strength, streamline a very complicated process. I was able to provide clarity to other team members, and I was able to really help move the needle on a few key outcomes within this project. After the project wrapped up, I grabbed the attention of my supervisor, and it really helped to show what was possible within this program and the unique skills that I could bring to this role. I was very clearly working within my strengths. It built my confidence in the beginning of my work here, and it allowed me to show the impact that I could have in my role and the possibilities within the program. So some suggestions that I would have for some new team members as they're starting out their career: focus on the impacts that you can make. Don't focus on the job title that you have or the job title that you're trying to get to. Find out what you're good at, focus on this, and continue to search for that impact, and then highlight that to your supervisor. I'd say use your one-on-one time with your supervisor well. Share the work that you have done, the impact that you've had. Just toot your own horn. When you have a problem and would normally go to your supervisor for some help, have a solution in mind and talk through that solution with them. This shows that you're taking initiative. It shows that you have good judgment. It shows some of your thought processes behind that decision, and it shows some good decision-making skills. I would say ask for feedback. It shows your supervisor that you're interested in your own personal growth. Ask good questions. Again, this shows your supervisor your thought process. It shows how you think through situations. It also challenges us as leaders and gets us thinking in different ways, which is always helpful. And then finally, I would say just try to identify your strengths and concentrate on these. If you need help identifying your strengths, we use an online Strengths Finder assessment that may not be accessible to you, or may be, but I would say focus on where you've been comfortable in a job that you've done. What's something that comes naturally to you? Where are you confident in your work? Where do you get energy? In most situations, you are probably working in your strengths in that situation. I would talk to your former supervisor. Maybe they can provide some insight into where your strengths lie, but focus on your strengths and work in these situations. So as you head into your work term, I would just recommend getting the most out of each and every experience and focus on the impact that you have during the term.